I remember years ago trying to add the feel of flock to a stamped chick with glue and loose flock from a jar, and then giving up because I couldn't get an even coating and I hated the look. Now there's a new product from Therm and Decofoil called Flock Transfer Sheets, and you can add velvety texture and vibrant color without all that mess. In this video I am sharing 4 cards made with Decofoil Flock Transfer and a Creative card die set from Crealies. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Heshik and I love to create cards with unique products and dies. Thermoweb just released their colorful collection of flock transfer sheets, and I've had great fun designing with them. So here are the colors of the flock transfer sheets. Yellow, orange, green, bright pink, white, a pretty aqua blue and black. And this is the foam adhesive sheets that work very well with these products. So check out the darling panda bear and his cousin on this card. So I know it's going to be difficult, but if you could feel this, it's soft, you know, velvety flock felt feeling, and works beautifully with dies. And then you can even use the negative, what's left on the sheet, and make another cute panda or something else. And on this card I actually made the X's and O's with the white flock transfer sheets. It's really easy to work with. There's 2 different ways to do it. For this one, you cut out a piece of the foam adhesive sheets from Decofoil, just slightly larger than your die, and you run it through and either punch or die cut whatever it is that you're going to be flocking out of this. And then you cut a piece of the flock transfer sheets. Let's say I was going to do it in yellow, just slightly larger than that, and you place it face down on I'm sorry, the sticky part, when you remove the adhesive from the top of that foam adhesive strip piece, you put it face down onto the flock, and then you run it through a die cutting machine, and then you peel away the flock sheet from the design, and there really is no issues with there being any empty spots or anything. It covers it beautifully, so it's very easy to work with. That was my first example. Now my second example is going to show you that, let's say there's a color that you want to use, but they didn't have the flock transfer sheets in that color. In this case I sponged some gray ink onto the white for these cute little mama and baby elephant die cuts. I used a Tonic Studio set for that, and so there we have a mama and baby elephant in gray, and then on the side again I used the white and I cut a strip, and then I embossed it with an embossing folder, and then I sponged the blue on. So you can choose to use white, and with your inks make it any color that you would like. Added a little pink there, and then this duck was just cut out of the yellow flock transfer sheets. Here is another way to add flock to your cards with stencils and Decofoil transfer gel. So here is the transfer gel, and I applied the transfer gel through a stencil from Gina K Designs and Thermoweb, and then I let it dry until it was clear and not tacky. And then I took a piece of the green flock transfer sheet, just slightly larger than that piece, and put it down, face down on the colored side of the flock. So, you know, traditionally with foil you have the pretty side up, but in this case you're going to put the green or whatever color face down onto that flock transfer gel through a stencil, and then you're going to run it through either a mink or a laminator. So to do it this way, you do need the heat of a Mink or a laminator, whereas when you're just using the sheets, you don't need to have that. The flock sticks to the stencil piece beautifully, as you can see here. And again, I wish you could touch this because it's just soft, velvety, lovely color. The butterfly was punched out of yellow flock and just attached, made with those sticky sheets. And the Celebrate is from Tonic Studios. Now, all of these cards here I will have on my blog, and more details and pictures will be available there. This is the spring card that I'm going to show you how to make today step by step. I created an Easter egg with using a stencil and the green flock, and I also sponged some yellow on in between. So what was left there was white, but I decided I wanted a yellow and green. And then the top of the Easter egg opens to show a cute flocked bunny surprise. I was inspired by a card on the Kitchen Sink Stamps blog to make this opening Easter egg card. Now the flowers on the side were also die cut out of pieces created with stencils and transfer gel and inks, and then Crealies flower dies, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then this piece on the front is the Happy Spring is a die from Karen Burniston. Now, can you guess, other than flock, what all of these cards have in common besides the texture of the flock transfer sheets? It is one Crealies die set that made all of these unique cards. So this one is like that, and then these stand up, and then you can even do a look like this. So Crealies is a company located in the Netherlands, and I'm a big fan of their unique dies. This die set is Creative Card number 22, which is a set of dies that cut and score with this diamond look. So you get 3 sizes of that half a diamond, and then this one here scores but does not cut. There are 10 different templates on her website for the Creative Card die sets 21 through 24. I have the half diamonds one here, which is the 22, and the rectangle set, which I believe is 23. Now I suggest that you watch her video, and there's a link in the description box all the way to the end where she shows card samples with the template numbers so you can easily see which one you want to try. So there is downloads that you can print up, and I do that, and then I create a template. So this one, you can see you use the small, medium, and large diamonds, and then it also scores, and that's how I created this card. So you can see the small, medium, and large diamonds, and then the scored lines, and it's that easy to create this card. So this was the template and my template for that one. Then I used download number 9 to create this template. And that's what I used on this card. So you can see that it stands up, and then it would fold to be mailed. But it's a very easy way to create that card. And then this one, there isn't a template on the website, but I did ask the owner for some advice on how to do that, and she suggested that you take the dies, which in this case, if you use the largest one, and you just mark on the side. In this case, for the largest one, I did every 1/2 inch. So a half, you know, 1, 1.5, 2, all the way down. This is just the first thing I played with. And you just cut at each line a bunch of times, and then one gets folded up and the next one's down and up and down. So there were other dies and also other ways to do this on, you know, various people have shown this, but this is just a really easy way to do it. Now for this one, I wanted to use the medium die and have a few more up and down and up and down, I guess. So what I did was, you want to mark the center of your piece so that each it is definitely straight, so that each time you're gonna put your center here where that line is, and then you're gonna line the sides up with the measurements that you made. And in this case, I did it every centimeter. So I have several rulers, and you probably do too. This side has inches and this side has centimeters, and it worked very well with this one to do every centimeter I marked, and then you cut on those lines, and it's up and down and up and down. So it's really easy to do, but it creates a very cool look on your card, and I was really happy how this turned out. There's a couple gorgeous samples on her website also showing this. So this is another thing that you can do with this die set. This is the card that I'm going to show you how to make today, and I started with her template number 20, I'm sorry, download number 3. But I decided to adjust it just a bit. I decided I wanted to cut these pieces off, and so while I started with her template, I ended up with a template of my own, and that's what we have here. So I ended up with, I decided to use English measurements with a piece of cardstock 5 5/8 by 11. Now the reason we're at 5 5/8 this way is that that's the exact height of these dies. So it's exactly 5 5/8 tall, but of course you can make it 5 1/2 or whatever measurement you would like. And it's 11 wide. And then I, on each side, I take the largest one of these dies and I cut off the sides. Right up to the, measure right up to the sides here. So this is the one we're going to work with, and I marked the die where the corner is, and then I just line it up on here and cut both the right side and the left side off. Okay, and then we're going to trim these sides off. Now you don't have to, and actually the one that they show on the template on her website, she didn't do that, but I kind of preferred the look with the diamond sticking out and not having those extra pieces. And then with each set you get a die, but it doesn't cut, it just scores. Okay, so we're also going to put that, well, let me explain to you how I did the measurements. Okay, so I started with an 11-inch wide, and then I marked the center, which is 5 1/2 inches. Now I played around with these measurements, and of course you can do the same, but you wouldn't need to now that I've kind of figured it out for you. So this was 11 wide. So from the center, which is 5 1/2 inches, I marked with a pencil, this is 5 1/2 inches, I marked 3/4 of an inch this way and 3/4 of an inch this way on the top and the bottom. And that is where we're going to line up the center half diamond folds. And then from this line here, the 3/4 inch, we're going to mark 2 more inches. So this is 6 1/4, so we're going to go to 8 1/4, okay? And then from here, 2 more inches. So we mark the center and then plus 3/4 inch and then plus 2 inches from each of those lines. And that's going to give us the perfect measurements for this template. And I have done that on this piece here. So these lines here, the 2-inch line from that, is going to be where you place these and you score. Now what I've done is, what I decided to do is, you know, I marked those so they're even, but if you try to line this up exactly, you're not going to get them straight. So what I do is I put the die right next to the tick mark. So then you know it's perfectly straight, and I would, this cuts the scoring line. And then I've cut the 2 sides, and then the center ones, again, that was that 3/4 inch line. I put these on just to the side of the tick mark. I'm really hoping you can see that. There's the tick mark, there's the tick mark. Tape it down and cut this one and this one. So we've cut our sides, our 2 folding lines, and the center ones. And you're going to end up with something that looks like this. And we're going to fold these lines in mountain folds. And I'm using my Teflon bone folder, which I just love. Makes really crisp lines. And then these lines here, which are just scored, you're going to fold up in valley folds. And you have the start of a very cool scored card. Now to create this card, I have also used some flower dies from Crealies, the flowers set number 24. And the Easter egg was cut out with stitched an oval from Gina Marie Designs. And I started out with a stencil. I believe this was also from Gina Marie Designs. And I put the transfer gel through that. And then I put the purple flock transfer sheets on it. So these are the pieces that I end up with. I have an Easter egg, and it's really pretty in the purples. So that's that flocked purple on this Easter egg. And I'm going to cut it with Deco scissors. Do you guys still have these from years ago? It's the only one I think I kept from Fiskars from years and years ago, but I still like the look. So I kind of wanted like a cracked Easter egg look. So I cut it in half with that. And it's going to be attached on this square. This is the bunny that we're going to hide underneath. Now this was the original one that I cut. It's with a die, can't remember, but it will come to me. Dynamics. It was a Dynamics bunny die, and it actually could have cut those little flowers out, but because I didn't really want them to be cut out, I have white and pink there. And then I double layered the Happy Spring because I noticed that this was starting to bend a little as I was folding, so I double layered that. And then we have our flowers made out of Crealies dies. And it's really cool how you can take, after this was cut out, the negative, what's left, is really pretty also. So don't waste that. You can use that to make other fun die cut things. So here you can see this is the negative, and I cut those flowers right out of the negative, what's left after you pull it up, and you have a very pretty look. And you also can, you know, die cut out of just the sides of something, and then I added a little pink ink to them, and got those really pretty looking flowers. And these were also die cut out of one that I had a stencil on in some greens, and I added some green inks. So I think it was from this piece here. Never wanting to waste any of that beauty. So I am going to attach the bunny This is going to be on like a diamond, so you want to hide the bunny under there. Is that down a little far? The top of the egg is going to be attached with a brad and no adhesive so that it will open. And then the bottom is attached with glue or tape runner. Cute little bunny. And this is going to be attached onto the front of our diamond shaped. Oh, sure, ran out of my favorite in the middle of a video, but I always have a backup. Oh, that's a little crooked. Let's try that again. There should be a tiny little border on both sides. And now there is. And then we're going to attach Happy Spring with my favorite glue, which is the fine tip bottle from Karen Burniston, and the glue in there that you can get on our website. Oh, I just remembered I'm not supposed to have any on the outside letters. So let's just wipe those off a little bit. Happy Spring. Let's push that down a little more. Okay. And then we're going to attach the flowers on the side with some glue dots. And again, these were die cut with Crealies floral dies, and out of the felt and the negatives of the felt. Actually, you know, the flock transfer sheets. I mean, they remind me of felt. That's why I say that. Those on the side here, and this one I think we'll put down, and then pretty spring flowers on the side here. And this one I think I'll go up with. And so our Happy Spring stand-up card is complete, and the person who receives it will open up the Easter egg to see a cute flocked bunny inside. The Easter egg is also flocked, and we have a unique stand-up card ready to go. I am loving the flocked pieces on each of these cards, and also the many ways this Creative card die set from Crealies can be used for many different fun folding cards. Thanks for watching, sharing, subscribing, and for helping me share the joy of creativity.